Good morning. Today I am making paper roses. So what I've done is I have used my daisy punch. It's got 6 petals on it, and I've punched me some red petals, and then I've used my, I don't know what this one is, but it's an 8-petaled flower base, and this will be like the leaves on my rose. And so basically what I am doing is I'm taking one of the red ones and I'm cutting off 1 petal on the first one. So I have 1 petal cut off. On the next one, I'm going to cut 2 petals off. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the 2 petals, and basically I'm just going to fold it in half and take a little bit of my Tombow liquid glue and put a dab at the bottom of the 2 flowers. So just a little bit down here, and then squeeze it together. And I've got some clips here that I'm going to hold it together while it dries. Okay, and set that aside. Then I'll take the 4, and it kind of helps if you put a little itty bitty cut, just a little cut there, just so that it'll fold together better. So then I fold it together and put the 2 outer petals together, and I'm going to glue those 2 petals together so it makes basically a little threesome of leaves. So I'll put a little bit of my liquid glue on here. Put these petals together. And they won't necessarily fit perfect, but it's close enough, because once you make your flower, you won't even notice. Then I'll use another clip and let it dry. Then on the 5, do the same thing. Just overlap this side into this one here, and it makes a 4-petal. And it put some glue on it. Okay, and then put a clip on it. Let it go to the side and sit. And then we'll take the base. Oh, let's do the little one first. Got 1 petal. This is probably the hardest one, at least it is for me. Basically have to roll it around a chopstick to get it going. You're basically just going to roll it into a little circle and then glue it to itself. This is going to make the very center of the flower. And I'm just rolling down the top. That's going to be the very, see that very well. That's a little better. And then put a little adhesive in there to glue that together. And clip it. Actually, I'm making 2 flowers, so I'm going to do the center of my other one too, so it can start to dry. Okay. Now on this, on the main flower, I just want to make it more in the shape, so I'm just going to use something that has a rounded end on it. I'm just kind of going around the center of it. You see how it immediately starts coming up? See, it sits up like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, what I have to do is put a little hole in the bottom of it so that the flour will all come together nice and neat. So I'm using my Japanese hole punch. You can use just a regular hole punch if that works for you, if you don't have one of these. Okay, now what you want to do is we got to bend each of these leaves backwards. You want to do a pretty tight curl, so I'm just using this. It's like a bamboo skewer. So I'm just going to bend all the leaves down. See how they're starting to roll down? You want to have a pretty tight curl on them, so you could use a pencil, but it wouldn't really give you a tight curl like the bamboo rod does, the skewer. You can use like a paper piercer, like one of these. You could use one of those. Okay. So this is basically what I have, and that's going to be the first layer of the flour. Okay. And then I have some here that have been drying for a few seconds, longer than the others. So we'll take this one, the 4-leaf one, and we're just going to roll the leaves down on it too. The double leaf is a little bit harder. I have to work it a little bit. Okay. And that one's going to sit right inside this one. But what you want to do before you put it in there is you want to clip off the little tip right there so that the next piece can fit into it. So it doesn't take much, just a little clippy. Or you can use your Japanese hole punch if you think that'll work. I'm just making sure that there's a hole there for the next layer. Okay. Then I'm going to take the next one, that's the 3-leaf, and do the same thing with the leaves, the petals. Roll them all down. Okay, now I got those 3 rolled down. And again, I'm going to clip the bottom off here. Okay. Now I'll take the 2 petaled one. Not quite dry. Open it up. And roll those leaves down, petals. Okay. And then we'll take our, I think this one's been drying longer. It's not dry though. I'll use this one. I put less glue on it so it's drier. I gotta roll that petal down just a little bit. Okay, so now, as you can see here, come on, piece of paper. I have 5 pieces. One that's 6 petals, 4 petals, 3 petals, 2 petals, and the center single petal. Okay, and now we're just going to put it all together. And this takes a little bit of doing, just because it's tight. But I'm just going to put glue on each of the layers. and then put the layers together. Probably easiest to start with the 2-petal and put the single petal inside it. And then take the 3-petal, put a little glue inside it. So I got the single petal in the 2-petal, and then the 2-petal I'm going to put into the 3-petal. And then I'm going to put the 3-petal in the 4-petal and the 4-petal in the 5-petal. And put it all together. And then you need to be able to hold it together while it dries. I need to put something heavy on it. Put my hole punch on it. And then we'll work on the leaf. Okay, all I'm going to do on this is just roll the petals down using my bone folder. And then I'm going to ink it a little. Use some green ink. Gives it more of a shabby look. Okay. And then when that's done drying, I will just glue it on there, and then I'll show you what the final one looks like. Looks something like this right here. This is a pink one that I made. It's very 3D-ish. I just love it. It is so beautiful. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.